Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Sam and I make videos about makeup, chronic illness, and whatever I want. And today I would like to do another part of my redecorating journey and talk to you about how you do a project like this when you're chronically ill and or disabled. Last week I posted the reveal and I'm sure a lot of people watching it were like, wow, this is a huge job. And it was a huge job, that's why it took so long, but I want to break down how I was able to do it and how you could do something like this too. Pacing and planning is really the key here. I talk about pacing a lot. I'll never stop talking about pacing because pacing is literally the way you live with pretty much any chronic illness, but especially if you have ME/CFS, it is so important. It is the key and the number one treatment here. Once we figured out what we were going to do, I started making a list of everything that needed to be done. It wasn't just picking out decor, paint colors, furniture, etc. It was really planning down to the tiniest detail what tasks needed to be done. The first thing you want to do is just take a look around the space that you want to be redecorating or moving furniture. I understand not everyone can paint. Maybe you're renting, you don't want to paint, you don't have the money to paint, etc., but you just want to change your space. So this will apply to anything, no matter how big or small of the task you're going to do, but just redecorating in general. So you're going to look around and assess the space and see what you need to do. I'm going to use the living room as an example just to break things down in a less vague way. So the first thing is kind of go from like the smallest detail to the biggest detail when you are starting. So we have bookcases, DVD cases, that stuff has to come off. Obviously, you can't move the stuff. You can't move the furniture with the stuff on it. We have a record player, we have vinyls, we have all of these little knickknacks, faux plants, etc. So all of that has to come off. So I planned where I was going to put those things, what those things were going to go in, if I needed to get boxes, if I had boxes, if I had totes, etc. And then where those boxes were going to go. We have a spare room, but there's a lot of stuff, so it didn't all fit in the spare room. Some of it had to go out by the bar, things like that. Just start making a list of all of the tasks that you need to do and how you're going to carry them out. After that, I planned around my normal schedule, appointments, resting, cleaning, meal, filming, on when I was going to do things. The key here is the trash truck is back. The key here is that you cannot do it all in one day. So what I would do is I had some free time on a day. I wasn't doing anything particular. So I would load up one, maybe two boxes and call it a day. You do not want to push yourself. I know it's exciting and you want to get it all done. I definitely wanted to. You also want to be able to enjoy what you're doing and not crash. Crashing will, one, hurt your health, and two, just make the tasks take way longer. Each of us is going to have different physical restraints, time restraints, etc. So don't look at how quick I got it done. If I got it done in 2 months, it might take you 4 months, and that's okay. And I realize not everyone can live in chaos for 4 months, but you understand what I mean is that you don't want to rush this because it is definitely going to backfire. Once all that is done, it's time to repeat with the furniture. So this you might need help with, you might not. It all depends on your specific abilities, how heavy your furniture is, how much you have, if you're having a good day. So you really need to like map out the plans here. So for me, it's like, okay, the bookcases were pretty light when they were empty for me. So if I was having a good day, I can move one. But what's my plan if I'm not having a good day? Well, then it has to wait till this day when Eric can help me. Like, just have game plans so you can just like check off tasks or verbalize tasks. Do not avoid asking for help in any capacity. Understand sometimes it's embarrassing to ask for help. Sometimes it's frustrating to ask for help. Sometimes you feel like you're a failure if you're asking for help. None of that is accurate. I mean, your feelings are valid, but you shouldn't be because it isn't embarrassing. We all need help, not even just disabled people. Taking care of yourself and your health is a job, and we all need help with our job sometimes, so you should look at this in the same way. Once all that is done, if you're going to paint, it would be time to paint and wash the wall, or not paint. It would be time to tape and wash the walls. So I started by taping little by little. I did split this into sections so I didn't overdo it. So I would tape one wall or one section. I would find ways to section it off, and then I would rest, and then I would wipe the wall down and I would rest, and then I would see how much of that I could do before I hit what my limit is. Painting was the most difficult for me personally because it is the most labor intensive. And that may be something you can't do at all. It may be something you have no problem with. You need to just kind of gauge where you're at specifically. For me, I needed help painting. I don't have the upper body strength, and with the carpal tunnel and arthritis, I can't really use the big roller. So that was Eric's job. I did a lot of the brush work and the small roller work because that was much easier for my body. So even if you can't do the big parts of the jobs, you can only do small things. Don't be discouraged. You're still helping. Choosing the decor was fun, but also just time consuming. Of course, budgeting is part of this plan as well, but saving spoons is also important. We came up with our vibe, so I spent a lot of time doing online window shopping with my phone and my computer because 1, we're still in Panini, and 2, it's just too much energy to keep going places. So when we did actually finally have to go in person to see and pick things, I made sure that everything we wanted had the location, I had the list, and we could just do it in one swoop. So I knew how much energy I needed, how much energy would be expended. There were also things that were done curbside or online orders, but it was all planned out. If you're going to assemble furniture, then this is something that you also need to think about. A lot of furniture, I would say most furniture, needs assembled these days, whether it's from IKEA, Amazon, Wayfair, wherever you're getting it. It usually needs to be put together. We did this a little at a time. Now, how we did it, we didn't really need much. We repurposed so many things in our house that we didn't actually buy that much furniture. But the furniture we did buy, we got a little at a time and assembled it as we go. If you're having it delivered or you just want to buy it all at once, I recommend just picking 1 or 2 pieces at a time that are the most important to what you're doing and assembling it that way. You don't want to try to do it all at once because you'll absolutely crash and you'll just get brain fog and frustrated. That's happened to me sometimes where I'm trying to read a direction and it like almost switches languages and I have no idea what it's saying because my brain just cannot process what I'm looking at. So really make sure you're taking your time doing something like that as well. I really want to stress that this is just a slow process. Whether you're doing a small bathroom like I did this year, whether you're doing a huge project, whether you're just doing an office, take your time, don't rush. Rest is not an option, it's absolutely mandatory. On top of resting, I made sure I was regularly using heat and ice. My hands, where I'm starting to have arthritis, swell and become very painful, so ice is very important to help with the swelling. The heat is mostly for my back. I took Tylenol and ibuprofen as needed. That on the larger days, like when we did the big painting, I made sure to take ibuprofen before we started, and make sure to always take something like that with food, not on an empty stomach. Also, make sure you've checked with your doctor or pharmacist so all of that is safe. But most importantly, I spaced everything out. I took off days in between. Sometimes I took off weeks in between. You don't need to be doing something every day. Resting and taking care of yourself is just as important as painting a wall or assembling a piece of furniture. It is incredibly important to avoid PEM while doing a project like this. So make sure that when you're planning, your resting is just as important as completing a task. So this is just a short little video. I didn't really have much advice to offer. I really just wanted to explain how I was able to do it and how you can do a project like this as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and I will see you guys next time.